Little messed up this early on. Yeah. So good evening. As there are so many things happening in my head, and I've been contemplating with the different subjects, and as a result of that, I came to do this evening chanting straight away before uh, spending some time for myself, and as a result, at the beginning of the chanting. Yeah, kind of I lost into my thoughts and uh, mistake few mistakes in the chanting. So that normally happens when you are doing uh, chanting and your mind is everywhere. But however, as you chant, gradually your mind settles, and with that settlement, you becomes aware and ability to focus. So that is the beauty of doing a chanting. And I think I've read two or three articles in relation to the chanting and the benefit of it. The research shows that um, at the beginning of the chanting, people's mind is wandering, but as their mind settled, and then their concentration develops and the focus develops, and able to maintain their concentration and focus throughout the time. Although there is a few moments they may lost the concentration, but will be able to come back easily. And so that's how they gain the awareness and ability to connect with the situation, and also ability to ponder what sort of a chanting they are doing and how to make the sound of it. And with that pondering, that gives them that give them a chance to go into insight into their own experience and understanding, and that allows to understand the true things, true as they truly are. So that is the reason that um, this chanting is always helpful and beneficial to do. And that is the reason I try not to miss this chanting, although sometimes only for a couple of minutes, at least of a half an hour. Like yesterday, I was so upset, and the mind was just everywhere, and unable to continue. However, I managed to do the chanting, and that helped me a little bit, able to meditate. So physically, I'm also feeling a little bit exhausted, and it's been 2 days. I've been going to bed very early, 9 o'clock, and just switching off everything and going into the bed and just lie down and go to sleep. And then waking up about 4:30, that's the perfect time. Although normally wake up at 5, that's the little early half an hour waking up. But do not feel tired, will feel fresh. Um, so that's been doing for 2 days. And this is again, yeah, the matter of understanding and the matter of the physicality, physiology. That when the weather change, when the mood change, then that affects to our body, our mind. With that change of body mind, um, normally makes us tired, and makes us fragile, and makes us exhausted, like that. So we need to take a rest, both physically and mentally. And the physical rest is simply allow your physical body to rest, and enjoy the moment where whatever you're doing in terms of the mental rest. And basically, you just need to relax your mind, relax your work, and let it be. So that is what we can do. But end of the day, it is not like one line every all the time. It will be same as it usual. No, it will be changing all the time. Our mood change, our feeling change, our sensation change, our perception to the weather change, perception to the friends, family, news, and everything changes. Particularly in this time, we are bombarded with so many news, and if we look at the news, 99% negative, not encouraging us to take control of ourselves, and we are drawn into that news. So it's very important that we have a mindfulness of what we are consuming. You will see very different when you, let's say, if you switch off your telephone, is a television, not listening your any news or not watching any news for a day, and at the night when you go to sleep you feel very light, you feel very uh, calm and relaxed compared to when you are watching a lots of news that basically boils your thoughts and boils your feelings and sensations, and when you go to sleep a very heavy head. And this is the reason why we have to practice meditation. Meditation helps us to um, get away from these media, these social medias, sort of like that, and then ability to take control of our own self and own emotions and feelings, and ability to understand that feeling and enjoy a life rather than consumed by the news and social media. So meditation helps us to take control over our own feelings and perceptions, and how do we connect with the world. So with that, that helps us to regain the energy and helps us to regain our own space, and we'll be happy. So the essence of the practice is to have awareness and a deep connecting within ourselves, and then to the nature and the members of the community, deeply thinking about it in a very objective way without any judgments, and gaining the insight, and that will help to live a healthy life. So with this in mind, let's practice meditation for a few moments before we end tonight's chanting. So sitting in a comfortable position, and bring your attention to the moment here and now. As we know that the practice of a meditation, according to Buddhist teaching, is contemplating the body, feeling, and how we are thinking, and the phenomena. So when we are talking about contemplating the body, we are contemplating in two different ways. And the first way is to contemplate the little part of the body, and that is, let's say, the breath as one body of the entire body. So paying attention to the breath and aware of that breath, and that would be the starting point. Or the rising falling of abdomen is regarded as the small part of the entire constituents of this body. So paying attention to that as the first practice, and the second practice is to be aware of entire body, um, ability to sense and feel the entire body without any adjustments or any uh, missing of it. Basically, it's like absorbed with this entire body. And the second practice is the feeling, again, observing the entire feelings, whatever feelings that you can observe. And then, meanwhile, the second practice is the small part of the feelings within the entire feelings, whether it is feeling of joy, happiness, pleasant, unpleasantness, and so on. As a small part, like let's say you're having a pain in entire leg, and then rather than paying attention to the entire leg, just paying attention to one particular the intensity part of this leg, like that. So that is the way, the contemplating in the feeling. And in terms of the practice of the mind and our consciousness, and here again, being aware of our own observation of the body feeling or knowing. So there's two parts again. The first is observation of it. What state of the mind do I have, and how am I doing it? And the second part is the little part of the constituents of your knowing, how you are knowing and how are you contemplating on that. And the last one is that doesn't matter what we observe, it's always changing, and that's the first attempt to try to understand. Even the breath comes and goes, changing, feeling comes and goes, changing. Our mind is again arises and vanishing, that changes. So seeing that in a vast area. And the second is the understanding the small constituents of each object that is changing. So these are the known as fundamental practice, or known as the establishing the mindfulness, or the state that we establish our mindfulness, or arousing a mindfulness. So with this, simply connect yourself and try to observe and be mindful of each phenomena as it arises. So with this, let's practice and continue practicing. Let's pay respect. Arahang Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Swakato Bhagavata Tamo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sangham Namami. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, everyone, and good night. See you tomorrow. Stay safe. Take care.